it creates a nice little handle here. You see this handle? I'm using it, turning my wrist and then pushing downward. And if I want to pull, look, I could pull him towards me in a very meaningful way. I use my thumb, and now there's a handcuff directly over the wrist. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, sir.
This video is sponsored by Judo TV. They have the best streaming service for international judo. Go to judotv.com. Shintaro's the discount code. You get 10% off. Practically make money.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right, today we're going to do a Hikite study. See that guy threw that Japanese in there?
I like that.
It's sleeve hand, okay? So we're going to right versus right. There's many ways to grip this sleeve here, okay? But you want to make sure that the grip is meaningful. So now let's look at the classic position where people just kind of grab the sleeve in the middle of the arm, okay? This is sort of the most classical way. I see a lot of people just gripping the gi here, right? However they do it. There's too much slack here, okay? So now look, when I pull to me, you see how the gi adjusts and not the arm? Okay, that's not good. If I want to lift, look, there's a lot of slack here. This is no good, okay? So if you're taking a sort of a defensive stance, I like to pull the gi to the side. Okay, so I'm pulling the gi out to the side this way, and then collecting it, and then pinning the gi down to the hip, okay? It creates a nice little handle here. You see this handle? I'm using it, turning my wrist, and then pushing downward, okay? I'm not squeezing the gi with my hand. I'm creating a hook with my fingers and leveraging my thumb into the gi here, okay? So it's more of a push. I hook the fingers onto the gi, and I'm pushing. This is very good for defensive maneuvers, like I said, because you put a lot of downward pressure onto that arm. If I want to lift this arm though, right, because the hand is on the top, it's a little bit more difficult, okay? Even if his hand is loose, right, there's only a certain height that I could bring my arm up, and because his elbow is below my hand, right, there's only a certain amount of force that I could generate. So if I want to take a more of an offensive position with my sleeve hand, I go underneath, okay? So you see how I have the gi sleeve here directly underneath? I grab the sleeve from the bottom and I collect the material from the bottom and then I make it tight here. So now from this way, I could still apply that same pressure, but as opposed, you see my hand positions below my person's elbow. So now when I lift, right, this hand is even with my hand, okay? So it's a little bit stronger. And if I want to pull, look, I could pull him towards me in a very meaningful way, okay? That's the key. There's no space in the gi here, right? So I could push, right? Pull, lift, right? In a much more meaningful way, right? So side, beneath, two very common ones. If I feel like I want to create more space here for my body to enter, whether it's seinagi or if I want to enter this direction for sore, okay, I need to go down on the sleeve a little bit lower, okay? Also, if I want to take this hand off my collar, this length of push might not be enough, especially, that's like he's taller than me.
A little bit.
Just think, maybe like a half an inch.
Fraction.
Yeah, you 6'3"?
Fractionally.
6'3", 6'2" and a half.
Same.
So from here, the arm length kind of matters, but it's very unusual, right, to be able to take this hand off. You're never going to out-height somebody that much in the same weight category. So it's usually best practices to have a different grip system for the purpose of taking the hand off, okay? I could do this to a child from here, but to somebody my weight, I'm never going to be able to do it. So from here, sleeve, right, I go from the top side. I turn this hand over to create downward force on the arm, okay? Because if this hand is uncontained, he's gonna go high, pull my head down. A lot of issues can arise here. I may put the chin over the hand, okay, to put downward pressure on this arm. So now if he wants to lift his arms, it's very tough because it's the end of the arm, lever arm, okay? So if he wants to go soto from here, very difficult. If he wants to go turn throw from here, this is very difficult because his arm's gonna get stuck, okay? Similar idea, before I could use my chin, or I could take my hand and slide it down. So now I'm still safe here. I'm leaning towards the safe side. I collect the material. I use my thumb. And now there's a handcuff directly over the wrist. Okay? So now this has a lot of pulling strength here and also pushing strength. Okay? But just pushing with my tricep is very difficult. So I separate my chest and hand. Okay? And now notice there's not a lot of space on this sleeve. If I bring my thumb over and across, right, I could bring the arm directly across the body. And if I want to, look, I could drive my knuckles upward. There's a lot of tension, strong arm vertical, and I could dive in for a sore as well, right? Meaningful sleeve grips. That's what the whole thing is about, right? So sometimes, if I'm doing judo here, look, I adjust the gi, keep the pressure down. He goes high, I throw my chin down, low sleeve. I could go underneath, adjust, right? Or I could go high, grip. And now I could go, this is better for a soda. Hang on the person, right? Because I want top side pressure going down. And it's a lot easier to do that than if my hand's underneath, right? So different grips for different purposes.
Hikite.
Hikite study, yes. So that's the sleeve study. Yes, and then you guys are gonna ask, oh, what about this armpit grip? It's not a sleeve grip, so that's why we.
That's why we're not including it.
Yeah, not even good. Similar concepts for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Yeah, yep.
Sensei Glick is a BJJ master, so he's gonna show us. We're gonna link it. So if you're watching this, if you got this far.
We'll cover some
Yeah.
similar ideas down on the ground.
Yes,
Nawaza.
link down below, or Greg gonna put the video right here on the screen. Oh, thank you. That's gotta be one of the most boring videos ever, right?